Hello, everybody, and welcome back. My name's Nick Driver, and I am a New Mexican. Today, we're going to be talking about the peaceful demonstrators who hit the streets of Albuquerque after Dereck Chauvin's guilty verdict. My main question to this is why? Why in Albuquerque? Anyways, let's get into the story and let's talk about it. So, demonstrators started at Central and Princeton, then marched up to the UNM bookstore. They were relieved with the verdict on Tuesday, saying they see justice is possible now. Okay, if that's what you get from that. Okay. Anyways, peaceful protesters marched on Central Avenue in the UNM area on Tuesday evening, according to Albuquerque police. Officers blocked traffic to keep them safe while the protests made their speeches. Central was opened back up to traffic around 8 p.m. So the people who are screaming, defund the police, don't like the police, hate the police, we're glad that they were out there to block traffic for them. But anyways, the peaceful protesters came in the wake of the high-profile Dereck Chauvin trial. I'm probably going to pronounce his name wrong a bunch of times. Chauvin trial. Jury members reached a verdict Tuesday afternoon and found Chauvin guilty of all 3 charges. Anyways, demonstrators started at Central and Princeton and marched up to the UNM bookstore. They were relieved with the verdict on Tuesday, saying they see justice is possible now. Absolute joy and surprise, Mary Holyoke, Wall of Moms organization. I didn't really think that anyone could not find him guilty, but they seem to have done that in the past, so I was just thrilled. I watched it with my son. It was immediate tears and I was just joyful, but the thing is we should have to be excited. But the thing is we should have to be so excited and elated over justice being served. I think it means to say we shouldn't have to be. But anyway, said Barbara Jordan, Press New Mexico founder. Jordan said watching it with her 17-year-old son showed him justice is possible if society keeps pushing. KOAT's legal analyst said this verdict was about accountability. No, this verdict was about appeasing the mob. Anybody who saw the whole footage and knows the whole story knows that all 3 of those charges is BS. He shouldn't be charged with all 3 of them. They might have been able to get away with manslaughter, but the other ones, no. This was entirely bending the knee to the mob, and all you just showed your son, Barbara Jordan, is that if enough people riot and burn down the city, you can get people to convict innocent people or convict people who may not be guilty. But you don't care because all you see is color in this, which is ridiculous because you don't see any of the actual facts. You're happy that a man doing his job is being sent away for prison for doing his job, protecting people of the street from people like George Floyd. Sorry, George Floyd is no saint, never has been, never will be. Y'all need to take him off the pedestal. Y'all need to quit acting like he was a saint, because he wasn't. Anyways, Dereck Chauvin, the former police officer, may never see the light of day depending on the judge's sentences, said John Day, KOAT legal analysis. If there's one message, it is that sometimes there is accountability. Sometimes the system, in fact, does work. The message here is the system's broken. It doesn't say, the message isn't the system works. The message here says the system's broken and will bend to the mob rule that's standing outside with pitchforks. That's what I take from this. And that's what it is. That's really what it is. And if you see it otherwise, please leave a comment. Explain to me how it's any other way. Because it's not. Because the jurors even talk about how the jurors were pre-decided. The jurors live in Minneapolis. The jurors have to see the riots every day. Maxine Walter, Joe Biden encourage the protests and riots no matter what the verdict. Yeah, this was a complete mob rule right here. This was not justice. This was a mob rule. This was a modern day lynching. This was a modern day lynching. Oh my gosh. Oh, I have to go to the other one. Sorry, it's in the other news article. But I'll bring it back up. All right. So, demonstrators made their way to Central and Cornell in the bookstore where they took a knee for 9 minutes, the time Chauvin had his knee on Floyd's neck. But Jordan said the demonstration was for more than Jordan. Not just for George Floyd, but for Breonna Taylor. Hanging out with a drug dealing boyfriend, helping sell drugs, and handling weapons, illegal weapons, okay? Philando Castile, I'm not going to get into it. Y'all can look that one up. Sandra Bland, haven't heard of that one. Didn't see justice, Jordan said. That's why Jordan said they will continue to fight for justice. In this case, they believe the jury made the right decision. For them, justice is lynching the white man. That's all this is. Group marching down Central, who cares? All right, so let's go to the local law professor discusses what's following Chauvin's verdict. So a local expert says they were surprised to see the jury come back from the trial of Dereck Chauvin in the death of George Floyd so early. Expected tomorrow, maybe the day after. The fact the jury had no questions for the judge after very complicated jury instructions lets us know that they were definitely leaning towards a guilty verdict, said University of New Mexico School of Law Assistant Professor Sonia Gibson Rankin. So they're saying they went in already before, anyways. Gibson Rankin says the verdict marked a historic moment in American history, but the legal proceedings are far from over. In the near term, the judges still needs to pass sentencing. There is also Chauvin's right to appeal. Gibson Rankin says almost certainly will, but she doesn't expect him to be successful. Couple things here. A historic moment in American history. What historic moment? That the judicial system's broken and will bend its knee to the mob rule? That if you get enough unruly people with forks, pitchforks, and Molotov cocktails and a politician to support you, you can do whatever the heck you want and don't care about anybody else or the actual facts? Is that the historic moment that you're talking about? Because that's what happened. That's what happened. But, it's a historic moment because a white man was sentenced to jail for the death of a black man who was completely out of his mind with drugs and other stuff and the toxic reports and all the reports and everything. There's plenty of proof that show Chauvin should not have been in charge on all three counts. Like I said, maybe manslaughter because the 9 minutes plus, whatever. But when it comes to everything else, it's just a stretch. Anyways, meanwhile, the professor says she is looking forward to the conversation about criminal justice reform that will come in the wake of the trial. Not just in more training of law enforcement, but a culture shift towards actual justice and fairness in our criminal justice system. So not just for more training, coming from the people who want to defund the police, and then they're going to talk about criminal justice reform and talk about training of law enforcement. Do you not see the counterproductivity here? You're going to reform the police by defunding them and giving them more training. Sounds like you're just getting rid of police, especially good police that are out here doing their job and want to enforce the Constitution and the laws, and you're trying to replace them and defund them and replace them with tools. Just people who do what they told. Whips, whoosh, machines, robots, That's what it seems like. And, here in New Mexico, what criminal justice form do we need? I don't know. Honestly, what we need is politicians who aren't afraid to go after the crime. Politicians who aren't afraid to support our police when they make the arrest while doing their jobs. Politicians who won't bend to the unruly mob rule who is violating everybody's constitutions. Police officers who are willing to stand up against these politicians who are setting unconstitutional laws and standards. And civilians to actually look, read, understand the facts, and learn how to get along with each other instead of always pointing the blame. Accountability is really the biggest issue across all these boards. You guys want to throw accountability on Dereck Chauvin? Yes, 9 minutes and 30 seconds may have been excessive. But let's throw the accountability on George Floyd. Let's throw the accountability on the man who used a fake $20 bill, took a speedball, and asked to be put on the ground the way he was. Any accountability for him? Any? Can we hold him accountable? Can we hold any of these people you guys are asking for justice for accountable? Can we hold people accountable for their actions? That's all I'm saying. Yes, he was on the neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds, that he should have been held accountable for. Agreed. But was it murder? Intentional? I don't believe so. I don't believe that the state even came close to proving that. If anything, they disproved that it was intentional multiple times. Anyways, that's where I'm going to leave it here with you all today. We can go on forever about this and the George Floyd thing and all the stupid riots that have come from this because nobody wants to hold people accountable. So let's have riots, and then let's not hold the people who are burning shit down accountable for the stuff they're doing and call it peaceful protest. Yeah, we can go on all day on this, but let me know what y'all think. Comment, like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. Hit me up. Follow me on Twitter, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You know, all that stuff. But anyways, I'm Nick Driver. I'm a New Mexican, and I care about you. Bye.